We're gonna onto the stage here, the Blues Clues host, Mr. Steve Burns. Mr. Donovan Patton. And last but not least, Mr. Josh Dela Cruz. Hello, gentlemen.
Thinking chair-esque.
How y'all doing?
Good, good.
Good. I'm glad y'all are here. Welcome to San Antonio.
Welcome.
Well, how's everything treating you here?
I love it here.
You love it here?
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh, you and I were talking a little while ago. You said you wish you were here longer.
I wish I was here longer. Yeah, I only had like one day to, I guess like most of us, Thursday was our day to kind of like explore.
Yeah.
And that's over, and so I mean, I don't typically eat breakfast, but I've been loving the breakfast tacos, so.
Oh, yeah. All right, what's been your favorite?
Okay, so I'm like plant-based most of the time, so like there's a place called Planta Taqueria. Yeah. So I've been there every single day for twice a day. Like there's a sandwich waiting in the fridge right now that I'm like thinking about.
So when you go, you're playing for your flight, it's gonna be a whole suitcase of tacos.
It's gonna be a whole suitcase, and you're not gonna want to be on the plane with me because it'll probably be super gassy.
I am not plant-based, and I can vouch for it. I've gone there for a few of the meals too. That place is great.
Oh, you love it, huh?
Yeah, it's good stuff.
What'd you have?
La lucha? Yeah, and then a whole bunch of other stuff. I don't know, but I went for because the first time I was there, I went for like a mix of things.
Right.
So like I was like a sample platter.
Okay.
Sure.
A little bit of everything.
It's good.
Steve, did you partake?
No.
There you go. There's your answer. No. Well, again, we're glad you're here. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule to join us here at Big Texas Comicon. Let's get right to it. Is it odd for all three of y'all to be here? Or is this like common now to see all three of y'all together? The legacy from Steve, Donovan, and Josh. Can you talk about that, the passing of the baton?
So I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think we all live in 3 different cities now, and so being able to come here and say hi to all of you is also one of the only ways we get to say hi to each other, just with the way schedules and stuff shake out. So it's great to be able to be here and see these dudes.
The truth is, the 3 of us really would be friends anyway, though.
Yeah.
Like, we really do get along. We really are buddies. He took care of me when I had COVID. Like, we're like legit. We have similar interests. We're different enough that we would actually be friends. We'd hang out anyway, I think.
Yeah. Well, Steve Hughes, the OG here, the guy got everything going. Was it difficult for you to pass the baton on once you figured it was time for you to leave?
I was protective.
Yeah.
I remember when I left the show, I was pretty ready to go. I was just like, oh my gosh, my imagination was a long thing. And so I was excited for Dono to take over and wanted to see what that would be, and I wanted to have another chapter of my life. But when Josh took over, I had to be there. I was like, what's he doing? What is he doing? What? How's he doing?
He was also directing.
Yeah, I know.
I
was like, I can write, I can direct. Like, let me in there. Like, I had to be on it because I felt so protective of the franchise. You were the same way. And I had strong feelings about who we should cast, and I knew that he was wonderful. So.
Yeah, and I believe you were heavily involved with Donovan's casting as well? Or?
Less so with Donovan's casting than with Josh's.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, I wasn't the one who picked either of them ultimately anyway.
Yeah.
But I was consulted.
You were a consultant,
Yeah, I was kind of like Josh's Yoda in a sense, right? In a lot of ways, because I was older and shorter and balder, and I knew the ways of the Force, and I rode in like a backpack. And,
I thought that was strange at first, but
Yeah, as a matter of fact,
he was like, Steve, why? This is weird, but it worked.
Yeah, it worked, yeah. What did... Donovan, you feel deprived, right? Yeah, you didn't get the backpack, Steve?
No.
We just kind of hung out and we're just Yeah, we were just like going out. That was his training. We were like, you know, in the village drinking beer.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Josh is there. What about me? What did I get all this?
No, I mean, like, that's the craziest part, because, you know, like, I watched the show with my younger sister when she was a kid, and we'd watch Steve, and then she would watch Joe with my cousin, and now my niece and nephew are watching me. So it's crazy just to, like, have that whole arc, especially not realizing that I ever wanted to be on children's television. But then the craziest part is that, yeah, we would be friends outside of the show. And I really love these guys, and I cherish any opportunity I get to hang out with them.
Cherish the clues we have. Cherish the clues.
Come on, Josh. We'll do it together. Here we go.
Thank you,
guys.
Josh.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Here we go.
What are we singing again?
Yeah, we're singing again.
Cherish the clues we have.
I don't know the words. All right.
Cherish. Yep.
It's one of my favorites.
Donovan, you were the first one to take that baton.
Yeah.
Yeah, how big shoes of
I didn't know what I was getting into.
Yeah.
I was blissfully ignorant as to the scope of the show and exactly how large it existed in people's hearts and in their homes. Because I don't know if I would have been able to handle the pressure of that had I been fully aware. And so what I liked about it is Steve talked to me about relationships, essentially, about the relationship.
Yeah,
Everybody can hear me all right?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, good. The relationship of you know, us to our friend who comes over, and how special that relationship is. And so, you know, like, without getting too into the mechanics of like acting exercises or techniques or how you personalize that type of stuff, that's sort of the cool actor stuff we talked about. And I thought that was a wonderful way to approach it, and Steve was very generous with that, because it wasn't a thing of like, hey, just do what I did. That way, we got to talk about how you think about it, but then when I came in, I got to kind of do my own thing. And you know, the same action gets made, you know, the same, I don't know, it'd be like two chefs, basically putting their own spin on a dish or something like that. And so I got to do things my own way, and put my own style on it, but at the same time, have it be, you know, essentially the same show.
You said your own spin on it.
Yeah.
How did you want to differentiate your hosting from Steve?
Well, everything under me kind of got louder and faster. Which, ironically, is a little bit, it made me enjoy watching my own performances less. Even my own kid, this is like, I've said this is some of the you know, my friends that came to the table. My own daughter, she's 14 now, would say, I want to watch Dada's show, but with Steve.
Yeah, look at Steve.
But
God, I love that story.
I wasn't like hurt by that, because I actually enjoyed listening to and watching the show with Steve more, because my energy was a little bit of a higher frequency. I liken it to, I kind of have like Labrador energy. So it's like a young puppy running into the kitchen and like overshooting, like whatever, like maybe slamming into the fridge and then like having that get back to like the direction that they wanted to get to. You know, and so, and consequently, I thought Steve had such a beautiful stillness to parts of the show, and I thought the listening was so acute. And I thought it was, he's looking at me, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's looking at you right now, Steve. You're looking at Donovan.
He's really, you know, and that attention to what he brought to the show, I thought was, you know, to be honest, I wish I had done a little more of that in my performances. You know, so when I look at it, I'm you know, now that enough time has passed, I can appreciate the stuff I was doing. But sometimes when I was a little closer to it, I would judge it a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, and it's hard to not think about it. And whenever you're acting, you're never doing exactly what you think you're doing. You know, the performance ends up being slightly different, but, you know.
We do all kind of bring our own self to it, and that's something we talked about too, is it's like, it just has to be, there has to be a human ballast to the character on kids' TV. You don't have to do that in kids' TV, but if you don't do that in kids' TV, you end up with kind of a monochromatic thing. Like Barney is a good example. Like I think Barney's a really good show, but it's not what I would do. You know, that like, oh hey, this is me when I'm sad and happy and everything else. And it's kind of a mask, right? And kids will respond to that, but it's much different if you bring a humanity to it. Even if it's an extreme character, like the characters that I grew up with, like Grover. You know, there's something broken about Grover. You know, or Bert is a really good example, right? And these are characters that are very extreme. They're puppets, even, but they're deeply human for those reasons. And I think Blue's Clues needs that. I think Blue's Clues needs like a real humanity to it. But a great joy was much later on after we found Josh, is I got to write and direct a bunch of episodes for that, and I would always write Dono into every episode, mostly so we can hang out, but also because the three of us, there's a cool thing that happens there, right? Because I could be like Uncle Hugh Hefner who just shows up and eats a cookie, and I don't have any responsibilities. And Josh is like a Blue's Clues host with a cheat code, right? Because he can like sing and dance, he's Broadway dancer, singer, well, he can do all this stuff that we cannot do. And Dono found this, the character of Joe had found this thing where he was kind of like Patrick from SpongeBob. He would just kind of show me like, hey, I'm here, my arms are really long, you know? But he's also low-key the smartest one in the room at all times.
Oh.
So
He says that to pacify me.
yeah, so I really love, like, you say how we're all different. I really love it when all three of those energies are together.
Yeah.
Like all three, I know you feel that way too, but all three hosts together is a great joy for me. I loved it with them.
Hey, Don, I read somewhere that you felt like maybe you got the part for the host based off of Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my audition,
Can we hear that?
the creator of the show came up to me and she said, do you know you sound exactly like Matthew Broderick? And I had no idea how to respond to that. And so, you know, I was like, in my mind was just like a response. And the one that came out was, funny. People usually tell me I sound like Christopher Walken. And then Steve did this like slow burn because he'd been doing Walken on set for years, and the crew started laughing, and so he took me aside and said, okay, when they ask us to go again, that's you. Let's both do Walken. I was like, you're on. And so like I have a VH, I haven't converted it yet. I need to.
I need to see this. Yeah.
It's in my. Yes, I believe I have it.
You had really long hair. I remember that.
Yeah. And so he's, you know, we're both there, and he's like, you know, hey Joe, what do you want to do today? I'm like, I don't know, Steve. Let's ask Blue. What do you want to do?
A clue. You see a clue. Where? Christopher Walken is the worst host for Blue's Clues imaginable. The show would be 6 hours long.
All right. Yeah, awesome. But Josh, you know, you're third, following these guys' footsteps. How was that for you?
Oh, I was definitely nervous. I felt like I was white knuckling the first couple episodes. But I remember Steve and Donovan, you know, mercifully pulled me aside one day and told me, hey, just so you know, that don't ever feel like you have to replicate or do anything like us, because they cast you because they love you and we love you. So like, play. And that was like the best thing that I could have ever heard and seen, because I got to watch them do their scenes for the first episode, and they were just playing, they were goofing off, like they were getting the work done, but they were having fun, you know. With the help of our first AD, they were getting the work done. But that sense of play is something that I so value, and that, you know, the permission, they didn't need to give me the permission, but they gave me the reminder to be myself.
Yeah.
And that was so important.
He showed up ready. He showed up ready day one. It was weird. It was like he auditioned by his third audition. It was like, he can start tomorrow if you want. He showed up, he automatically knew how to do the weird blue screen, green screen stuff, which took me 4 years to get good at. He was like, oh yeah, so it's over there, and then the bar of soap is there. Right, but then if I move here, that means the pepper is over there, right? We're like, how did you know how to do these? Neo. No.
Yeah. Josh. You know, one thing I think really highlighted a couple things for me is minority takes over. You know, Filipino. How awesome is that for you to represent?
Oh, it's great. You know, people ask like, "What's your dream role?" And like at the time, I was like, "I just wanted to be American." You know, like where it wasn't the foreigner or like you know, they cast me because they were only looking for a Filipino.
Yeah.
But if they had open casting, you know, it would probably not be you. So that was really important for me, especially as an actor who didn't think that I wanted, or rather that I could be on TV in any capacity, and then B, that I would ever be in children's television. So like that was wonderful to be, you know, they had auditioned over 3,000 people, and at my final callback, there were 3 other people that were there, me and another guy, and then 2 women. And everybody looked different. And so that was wonderful to see that they were really looking for the right person, and that could be anybody. So it was really cool to get the role in that capacity, but once I got it, it was like, now how can we celebrate who this person is, like as a full human being? And when our producer Siobhan came to me we started filming the 2nd season, and she was like, I want to tell you something. I was like, what's that? And she was like, you're getting a Lola this season. And I was like, what did you just say? And that was so important to me, because not only could I be an American, but I could be a Filipino American.
Sure.
You know, this full person with a full cultural background, and share that with people. And even if you're watching the show and you're not Filipino, you know, you get to learn about Lola and be like, oh, that's what grandma, I have a grandma, I call grandma something else. So, you know, as the more specific we can be, oddly, the more connected we all can be. So that was really, really special.
That's awesome.
I like it too personally because on the show we're family, and that's what families look like. You know what I mean? That's what families
I love how
are.
low key that is. It's like, oh, this is our cousin Josh,
Yeah.
and we never say anything else about it.
And that's beautiful too, because
That's awesome.
that's what families look like.
Was it advantageous for you to have Steve there?
It was.
Yeah.
It was. To have Steve and to have Donovan on set, it's the best day of work. Whenever we're all on set together, I get so excited. And I never have to memorize my lines that hard, because they're just in there. We get to play and we get the work done, and it's the best job I've ever had. And I say that today.
And you also
Wait, you memorize your lines now? Huh.
Who knew?
Sounds like it would have been helpful.
But you all see the evolution. You go from notepad to smartphone.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk about that. Yeah.
I mean, like, I can't take any of the credit for like the things that happen on the show, because we have so many people that are researching and that have doctorates that are working on our show, and not to mention all the kids that are watching or that are reading the storyboards and then seeing episodes and giving feedback as well. There's so much research that goes into the show, and so, you know, the tablet or the smartphone is inescapable. It's part of our DNA today as a society. And so we either lean into it or we ignore it. And when you ignore things, it doesn't really work out. So we leaned into it and tried to figure out how to make it a force for good that kids can understand and have a good relationship with, that, you know, isn't negative. And I'm so happy that they still kept the notebook, because I carry a notebook. I'm somebody that learns kinesthetic, is that the word? And so that was really important for me, to write things down or to draw or to form a relationship with information that is not based on sight or hearing.
Right, yeah, awesome.
Yeah, that's very much Angela Santamero, who created Blue's Clues. Her philosophy has always been to meet kids where they are, at their level of understanding, with respect. And even if she was like, screens are not good, you know, or even if she's a little skeptical of screen time and stuff, what Josh said is absolutely true. That's the reality. So she's like, all right, we're going to do both. You know, we'll do both of those things at the same time. And I always respected that. I always thought that was great.
Steve, what Star Wars character would you have liked to have visited your blues house?
Bro. Yoda, probably Yoda. Oh, you and McGregor's Obi-Wan would be a good hang. Hello there. Come on in. Oh man, there's so many. Yoda, probably.
Yoda, yeah. How do you Blue would react to Yoda?
They'd be great friends. They're the same size.
Yeah, I think they would just be like chilling in the kitchen.
Imagine C-3PO, they're like, oh dear, you're here.
Oh, terrible host.
I seem to have lost my... Oh,
Ah.
you'll see it. You'll see it. Is it over here?
Oh, there's all kinds of bad. You don't want to open the door and be like, ooh, ooh, ooh.
You close that door so fast.
Oota, boota, slippery. Slippery, oota.
What about you, Donovan? What character?
I think I like C-3PO now.
I want to change my answer.
Go ahead.
Boba Fett.
What? He's practically silent for most.
I know. What an amazing, menacing character just to be in the background at Blue's Clues. Amazing.
Growing up, Boba Fett was the coolest toy. So he was the coolest one. Yeah.
If you could find the rifle. If you did.
Oh, listen, I gave my son one. It was like, they had the big hands and the big feet. I don't know, some Fisher Price toy or whatever. And it was like Boba Fett. And it was like, then he immediately gave it to his friend and was like, you don't know what you're doing! That was the coolest one, just gave away the coolest one.
I never got that.
Who'd you have then?
Oh boy, that's a hard one. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a really hard one because there's so many people. Like Han Solo would be fun to have around. I feel like Finn from the new movies would be like a really good like Blue's Clues host.
Leia from Jedi? Just
Get out of here. No, Tatooine Leia. Vader.
Oh, no.
Vader out of his suit.
Oh, yeah. Disfigured Vader.
Just welcome to this episode, kids. Steve, you a few years ago you did a viral message on X. Well, Twitter was then, now it's X. Why was it important for you to get that message out, and put it out there, and the reception it got? It went viral times 100.
Yeah, someone told me that viral video got more eyeballs than the Super Bowl and the Oscars combined
Wow.
that year.
Wow.
That's the power of the internet. But, that was just an automatic response. That was just pure instinct, right?
Yeah.
So we were doing promo stuff for the 25th anniversary of Blue's Clues, and someone said, y'all should do shout-outs. And so we were like, okay. And I was like, well, wait, I want to talk to my people, not to Josh's people who are now 4 years old. They don't know who I am. You know, I want to talk to you. I want to talk to my friend, my homie.
Yeah.
You know, and Blue's Clues was always about respect and about talking to each other right where we were. And back then it was shapes and colors and vegetables and numbers and letters. And now it's life. It's still life, but now life is student loans and, oh, my parents are getting old and this pandemic is really hard and I don't know how to feel about it. And I just wanted to use that same instinct that I had back in the day and just age it up, and it was just that simple. And I didn't write it, you know, I just improv'd it. And I think the first time I did it, I cried so we could use it. And that was a surprise to me. I didn't know it was gonna go there. And the second time I did it, like the crew cried. And I thought, oh, maybe that's something, but we had no idea, no concept that it would be that resonant, or that it would kind of reverberate in that way. It was a shock to me.
Yeah.
And I gotta be honest with you, that was kind of the first time that I got it. That was the first time I was like, whoa, Blue's Clues was a big show. That was really the first time that I understood that.
Yeah. What was your reaction to it when you saw it?
Well, Dono and I were sitting in the green room because they're like, oh, Steve's gonna film something, and we were just like talking, having snacks, and then all of a sudden we hear everybody start clapping, and we're like, what's happening up there?
There's something.
It's like, were we supposed to be up there? No, we're like, they'll get us, right? Okay, good. And then I saw the video, and it was brilliant. It was beautiful. It was honest, and so important, especially for the brand itself, just because it's such a big show that sometimes the company needs a little reminder that like Steve is who he is, and the show is what it is because of Steve. Because that's why we watched, right? There are cartoons and puppets that we can watch, but we chose to watch Blue's Clues because of Steve and Joe.
Here's the deal. I'm going to push back on that, even though that was really nice. Here's the deal, though. I think as the host of a children's television show that you all watched back in the day from a place of joy in your childhood, which was highly parasocial in nature, where we spent a lot of time and energy cultivating a relationship that felt as real as possible as it could in that context. Am I making sense? All right, so we did that. So the host of that show is very well positioned in a moment of national insecurity when all of us were on our phones all day, when all of us were stuck inside, constantly looking through media to the outside world, which was increasingly scary and pretty mean, right? The internet was mean. And it was like the more mean you can be, the cooler you were, was the vibe that I was sensing. Where it's like, are we confusing cruelty with strength? Are we confusing being a dick online with being a cool person? Like that was happening on a national way, in a way that was unprecedented, I felt. And I think it's more about a respectful, care-driven, calm conversation that was about compassion was a missing thing. More than it was a great choice, or more than it was like an acting performance or something. I think it was just that was missing. And you all brought the response to it that made it what it was, and that made it interesting.
I think it's that's what we're saying. Like, but you brought that. You brought that, and then you guys met him right there in agreement that this is what we want. And I think that was an organic thing that came from you, that wasn't written by anybody upstairs.
I'm sorry I said dick.
Richard.
You meant detective. You meant detective from the board.
Yes. Well, I'm going to give you all a warning now. Start lining up, everybody. We're going to go ahead and take questions in just a few minutes, but I was walking the aisles before you guys. Oh, look at that. Okay, yeah.
We'll try to be
Hi again, Steve.
Oh, not yet. Sorry. Not yet. I was walking the aisles, and seriously, it ran the gamut from cosplay, Blues Clues, to t-shirts and everything. Even to the point you got the sweater over here, the guy in your sweater. You want to stand up, sir? Right there. I see you. Look at that. He's styling, man. Yeah, styling.
Cool haircut?
Yeah. I mean, even our interpreter has Blues Clues earrings on, right? She's right here with the, look at this. You want to show? Yeah. So fans are packed. They're here for you guys. So let's get it going here. Now, go ahead, sir.
Nice to meet you again, Steve, Joe, and Josh.
Hi.
I'm so happy to be here, and it's an honor to meet you, both the three of you. I grew up watching Blues Clues growing up. I was more the generation of Steve and Joe. And I got a question for both of the three of you. So, if you can be in any music, if any of the Blues Clues hostess could be in a musical, what musical would it be?
Oh.
I'm a theater kid, so...
Josh will answer this last.
Josh, would it be in Aladdin for you?
I need a second.
I grew up, and my parents loved the musical Jesus Christ Superstar. And Pilot is a very good role in that. But so is Caiaphas. Do you know that role? He's the bass. Well, gentlemen, you know I I would do that, because it'd be really funny, because I'm like 3 feet tall. If I was like a bass note villain, I think that'd be great.
I would like all three of us to be an elf in some capacity.
Oh, that'd be great!
And then, personally, I really love Waitress. I'd like to be the doctor and Waitress.
I was like, you know that the other choices, you gotta
know
be
that
the
he was
jerk.
Aladdin on Broadway, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He was
That was
Aladdin on
fun.
Broadway.
But what about you, Don?
So, I mean, okay, so this might be a little bit of a cheat, but it's something that they can both vouch for. I keep saying that I think they should do Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure as a Broadway musical, and I would love to be in that. Yeah, I don't know, they might be. They might. I know they did like Back to the Future and stuff. So.
Yeah.
Great question,
All right, thank you so
Thank
much.
you. And
Thank
my
you.
last question, can you give me some advice to become an actor? I'm going to college next year, so.
Oh my gosh. The only advice that I would give to anybody, especially in acting, is to learn about your finances. And it's very boring, it's very unsexy, but the more control you can have over your finances, the more creative risks that you can take to take the jobs that might lead to a better opportunity.
Act anytime you can, whenever you have an opportunity.
And trust yourself. Trust
Thank
your
you so
instincts.
much, guys.
Take care.
Thank you.
Hi guys,
Hi.
my name is Jacob. Steve, Donovan, big fan of y'all. I grew up with y'all as children. Josh, not so much, but
Neither have I.
I've seen some clips on YouTube and you're doing a great job as well, so I just wanted to say that. But my question is for all three of y'all. What is your favorite character from Blue's Clues? Mine is either Pail or Mailbox.
I'm very partial to Side Table Drawer and Slippery Soap.
Mr. Salt, side table drawer.
Definitely Mr. Salt. And I mean, I get jealous of magic tricks, so I'd have to say Periwinkle.
Good choices.
Thank you for your question.
Hey, get well soon, man.
Okay, well,
Yeah, take care.
Hi there.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Elena. Nice to meet y'all.
Hi, how are you?
Huge fan. My question, so I actually work in child development and play therapy. We use you guys all the time for therapy. And I was wondering specifically more towards Steve, but also for all of you, were you aware that you would have this much of a psychological impact on young children? And how has that affected your roles in acting and how you view your influence?
Tell me your name again.
Elena.
Elena, thank you for doing what you do. I think
Thank
it's
you.
wonderful. There's a great, yes, sure. There is a wonderful, it's almost a rule in what she does for a living. There's a saying that play is the work of childhood, and it is true, right? When you were on the playground, what you were doing was work, but what you were having was fun. Children inherently stand in front of that which is unknown and invited to play, right? And they use a superpower that we all have when you were born, the sense of wonder, right? And that wonder is not just like curiosity, it's like there's a courage involved in wonder and a joyful anticipation and a sense of awe involved in wonder. These are the things that I used for Blue's Clues. I didn't do that intentionally. And that's not something that I brought to it, it's something that that role brought to me. Simply by trying to engage a sense of wonder. It was in the script, I wonder where they are. I was saying that in every episode of the show. So that was what I was tapping into, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. This is what you do, right? I had no idea that we would have this sort of impact on a generation of people. I knew that the show was brilliantly scaffolded, and I knew that the curriculum was incredibly meticulously researched, and I felt like I was in very good hands. I felt like I was a teacher. I felt like my job was essentially to facilitate a curriculum. So I was aware that it was educational, but I was in no way, shape, or form aware that we would have such a pro-social impact. People say all these things, oh, you taught me all these pro-social things. Like, well, that was not part of our curriculum. But we were modeling that, I suppose. So I could talk to you forever. I love what you do for a living, and thank you for what you do.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
And you as well, please.
Hello, ma'am.
Steve and Donovan. Mostly just because it's so different filming now with like CGI and Blue herself. What's the difference between when you were on set originally with Blue and like going back and filming the movie with Josh?
Well, that's an easy answer. It's way better for Josh than it was for us. We made that show on desktop Macintosh back in the day for no money, literally no money. And so everything was so hard. Like just lighting anything was so hard. It would take forever, and it was just meticulous and tedious. And then you would watch how they made the Star Wars prequels. And they had people dressed in green suits and sticks with tennis balls. We didn't have any of that. We didn't have anything. We had literally nothing. And then we get 20 years later, and Josh is there, and there's like, everything is from the future. And he's got like cutouts and people and stuff.
Oh, all right. So, to be fair, the cutouts, let's set the record straight. The cutout was more for a reference in the first season because they didn't quite figure out how big Blue was going to be.
Whatever, bro.
Right? But as soon as that was done, the cutouts died because they realized that was not a good reference.
They went to a farm.
The truth is, it was a learning curve, and eventually the Blues Clues figured out how to do it. And by the time Josh got there, it was a very smooth. His set was such a smooth process. It was like great. But when we were doing it was chaos when we were doing it.
It was easy because
the camera could move on Josh's set. That's actually a really cool thing. And Steve, when he directs, takes great advantage of that. He actually has designed a few different cool shots, like some Busby Berkeley musical type stuff that you couldn't have done back in our day. Because like we basically could put the camera on a tripod higher or lower. That was about it, you know. And with Josh, you actually, like it's on a dolly and it moves around. And it does a lot of cool, like subtle things that actually are really engaging to the eye.
It's better for Josh than it was for us, is the answer to your question. In a big way.
I also like your bracelet stuff.
Thank you so much. They were made by my friends and gifted by my friends. So thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, my name's Derek. I just want to say, grew up with Steve and Joe. Thank you guys so much for helping form my childhood.
Thank you.
And Josh, I'm so glad that you get to bring that feeling that I had as a kid to a new generation. It's so awesome. I feel like I've asked this question to a couple different panels I've been at conventions. I feel like you guys will answer it the most creatively. What's you guys' favorite ice cream and why?
Oh boy, what's my favorite ice cream? Ice cream.
Yes.
I think as long as there's going to be ice cream, pistachio I'm coming around to in my adulthood, but it's not my favorite. But a good old cake batter with chocolate chip cookie dough, and maybe some like cookie core. Ice cream cake, that's my favorite ice cream. With the crunchies.
Chubby Hubby.
I like Tillamook mudslide, but I will caveat that with I like almost any ice cream that has like fudge veins of it, as if so I can sit there and mine them as if they are veins of ore, and I can just be like an old 1840s miner going like, I don't want to get this one, and then you go across a big gigantic like whatever
Donovan, I would really like to recommend Chubby Hubby ice cream to you.
Okay,
I feel like you'd really like it.
I have been to Chubby Hubby myself, actually, because of ice cream.
He once attempted to eat a gallon.
I ate it. This is a challenge that was given to me because I was talking about basically the process of like, ooh, like, say you have cookies and cream, and I'm like, oh, what's next or whatever, and I'll be sitting there, and I was like, I could eat a whole quart of ice cream just like sitting there by myself. And Steve said, he was like, no, you're a liar, you're a food bragger. And this was backstage while Josh was trying to work. He was out there, and they were like, quiet, you're actually filming Josh right now. So I sent Steve a time.
He set up his iPhone and just sat there on his couch. He was like,
I ate a quarter and a half in one sitting.
it was gross. It was gross.
It actually was, and I regretted it later because it was too much. It was too much of a good thing. So
Thank you for your question.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Kyle. I grew up with you guys. I just want to say thanks for doing your part. You guys are showing us smart. And but my question is to you guys is, what's your most memorable episode Like, it doesn't matter if Steve, if it's Joe's is Steve, Josh. What's the most memorable episode?
The mystery of the missing thinking chair, because I've never laughed so much on set with all three of them.
I really just remember the first time I flew in outer space and sang the planet song.
Ooh, yeah. I remember trying to fit inside of the alphabet train, and I was there, and I was like basically like in there. Is this good? Okay, I have to jump out of this. Right.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much.
Hey guys, my name's Creed, and thank y'all for helping my childhood. And my question is, if Mr. Salt and Miss Pepper and the soap were real, would y'all actually like use it? Like imagine like having a steak or something, and you wanted some pepper, and you know Mr. Pepper or Mrs. Pepper, sorry, and you're like, she's like, yo, what's up? You want like pepper on that?
We would have to ask respectfully, especially with Slippery. We have to.
It's a very personal question. It really depends on your relationship with the individual condiment and or feeding product. But it's an excellent question, but I don't know that it's appropriate.
Slippery, could you leave some shavings on this washcloth, please? Because otherwise, yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much for the question.
It's one that
That's
I've
a great
asked
question.
myself.
Hi, I'm Roxanne, and I'm actually Creed's mom.
Good job, Roxanne.
Creed's funny.
I want to first start with thank you, because you really did impact his and my other son, Catcher's, and my nephew, their childhood. And as a mom, I can't thank you enough for coming and doing these things, because not only did I get to experience you when they were 4 and 5, but now they're 18 and 19. We get to have the Blue's Clues experience again together. So my question is, I know you've done a movie. Is there anything more in the works for you all to work together? A Christmas special, maybe? Something?
Do you want to hear my pitch for the Christmas special?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, Mr. Salt loses the Christmas spirit, right? And he's visited by 3 hosts. Right? The host of Christmases past. The host of Christmas presents. Because he runs the present store. And then it's all about Josh and the new family. And he realizes that there's a whole new family. That's my pitch for it. Yeah, I pitched it, and Nickelodeon was like, hey.
I see you gave me chills just telling me about it.
I know, it'd be great.
Because, I mean, we still have DVDs, and, I mean, coming here, we've all got the little bracelets, and that's the only thing they wanted. I mean, we came, and this is the only panel they wanted to come to. The boys.
Nice. Well, to a mom and to all the moms and parents, thank you for doing all the real work. Yeah. We were there for a few minutes here or there every day. You all did the real work.
Hello. Hello. My name is Alex, and y'all probably get a lot of questions about Blue's Clues, but I want a little bit more about y'all. If y'all were had an autobiography by yourselves, who would the actor be?
Oh, I guess the most logical person would probably be like Dave Bautista.
Sure. I don't know. Paul Giamatti.
I mean, Jim Carrey.
My name is Hello.
Hi, Steve, Donovan, Josh. My name is Nishant, and I apologize to the audience for how long-winded this might be, but I've been waiting 25 years to say this. So, Steve, you've been such an advocate for mental health awareness in the past few years. I suffer from suicidal depression and alcoholism. I never thought I'd make it to 30, but here I am at 31, standing right over there to my childhood hero, being sober for over a year. I just wanted to say on behalf of the entire audience, thank you for being such a beacon of light, for being such a guiding light to the darkest parts of our lives. Whether it was me at 5 years old or me at 31. Now for my actual question. I'm sorry, everyone, not sorry. All right, so Steve, most of us know you as Steve from Blue's Clues, but I think what's a little bit more obscure are your extensive voiceover work, such as the Snickers Satisfies. So, I have been in healthcare for about a decade, and I finally decided to pursue my dream job of working in voiceover. And I just wanted to know, what were some of the pitfalls when it came to auditioning for those roles, and what made you want to go into voiceover in the first place before even doing Blue's Clues?
What's your name again?
Nishant.
Nishant. We're gonna back up. If we can, if you don't mind. You said some beautiful things about being a beacon of light and stuff like that. You do realize your accomplishments qualify you as well, right? You're talking to somebody, right?
Of course.
Okay, cool. Voiceover. Voiceover was the one thing in my life that I never thought anything about. It was such a good job that I said I'm not going to even think about that. So I would watch a lot of commercials, and that would be my, this is boring to people who don't do voiceover work. Don't worry about your voice, worry about your ear. Listen to commercials, hear what sells, hear what's working, and get an ear for that. And just pay a lot of attention to advertising. But whoever you're talking to, keep doing that. Keep doing what you're doing. That got you 1 year. Right, man?
Thank you, guys. Those are some big shoes to fill, and you filled them well.
Thank you.
And Josh, you will always have a place with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You have a very interesting voice, though. I wish you had.
I know. That's why I say don't worry about your voice.
Yeah, don't worry about that at all. That's great. And don't pay too much for workshops. For all of you that want to do like careers like that, people will try to sell you workshops online.
Speaking from experience.
Yeah, you don't have to spend a lot of money to take workshops online. Like there's very affordable ways to avail yourself of those resources. So don't get scammed.
Hi, my name is Thais, and I want to know if you can take anything from set, like anything at all.
The camera.
What did we say?
Turn the cameras off. Man, that camera's expensive. Turn the cameras off. This is a sting operation.
I personally stole a bunch of stuff. No one gave me a shirt, but I walked with like 4 of them. They didn't say anything, but they definitely didn't give them to me. I have the sock puppet. They gave me the original notebook with the first 3 clues in it. And they gave me the original thinking chair. Yeah, it holds my dirty laundry.
Are you?
We have a I have a thinking chair from we all have thinking chairs.
It's huge.
I took some accounting documents from the office. I have some props that are gifts that are pretty special. Oh, I have video letter. I have the letters from the episodes that we never got to shot. It was the very next episode that we were going to shoot, and so I have those that letter, and so those are really cool and really special.
Yeah.
I have a smoking jacket from the
That's the best.
From the 100th anniversary. It's sort of made out of the fabric of the thinking chair, but it's like a jacket. It's cool, and yeah, I think they tried to get that back, and I was like, I don't know where we're. Bring it up. I wish I could find it.
Thank you.
Great question.
Thanks.
Okay, we have time for I think we got time. Yeah, no, this actually will be the last question.
Hi.
Your girlfriend, hi Miranda. Being the last question, what message all 3 of you would leave for future children?
Future children.
Yeah,
Future children?
future children. Babies that are just being born or kids just not yet here. What message would you like to put up?
Starts with welcome, I guess. You know, it's nice that you're here. Yeah. Thank you very much for being here. Well, I mean, it's like to all of us. I think one thing that's really important is that we all need each other in this life. And so the fact that any future children, like when they're here, it's wonderful when everybody's here, because in some sense, what we have control of and what we are able to actually feel and acknowledge is this present moment right here and right now. And I think it's important to respect it as much as possible. And so that when we can give a hug to someone we care about, when we can let someone know that we love them, and when we can say thank you, when we can listen to each other and actually bring each other into our, share a life together. To me, if there's like an answer to the question about what is life all about, I keep coming back to like something close to, it's about connection. And so, I just say connect in as honest a way as you possibly can, and bring your full self to whatever it is that you're doing.
I would say the message that helped me the most from Blue's Clues taught me a lot of things. And one of the most important things that it taught me was to ask for help. And I think that's easier when you're a child than when you're an adult. At least it was for me. But that is a lesson that that's a message from Blue's Clues that I would hope to impart. Is that it's okay to ask for help.
Josh?
There's so many things that you could say. Something that I try not to get in my own way, especially when learning something new. And so I would probably say you don't know what you're good at, and you don't have to be good when you first start. So try and enjoy learning about things that you don't know and that you don't understand, and enjoy and have fun on that journey.
All right, thank you. Gentlemen, before I let y'all go, I think a little Blue's Clues puppy showed up.
Oh my Lord. So cute.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
That's strong coffee right there.
This is Jelena.
Hi, Jelena.
She wants to hear you guys sing the Blue's Clues song.
You gotta find a paw print. That one. That's the first clue. You put it in your notebook, and now what do we do? Clues. You gotta find another paw print. That's the second clue. You put it in your notebook, because they're who's clues? Whose clues are Blue's Clues? Yeah. Hey, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate this so much. Thank you so much. We spent so many years imagining you, and it's so great to meet you. So.
Thank you again.